would make a little video with some poses that might help if you are suffering with sciatica. So before we begin, if you are suffering with sciatica and it's been going on for a long time, or you are in quite an intense amount of pain, any numbness, or if you're struggling to actually use the leg, then please see a doctor. Sciatica is a symptom of something pressing on the sciatic nerve. So this area is quite complicated. There's lots of muscles. There is your spinal column, the base of your spine. So there's lots going on. Majority of the time it's just a muscular thing. The muscle is tight and it's just pinching on that sciatic nerve. Yes, just so if you need to go to a GP, make sure that the exercise you're doing are appropriate for what the issue is. Okay, so we can begin. So I just thought I'd go through quickly just a couple of poses that you can do. I'm not going to make this an actual sciatica practice because the video will be quite long. So you can see I've got some blocks and some blankets and towels. You don't need these things, but they just help if you need to pad yourself up. You might also want to have a little timer with you. You can use a timer on your phone or an egg timer, so that if you wanted to stay in the poses for 30 seconds, maybe a minute or a minute and a half, you can set the timer and then you can be in the pose and not worry about how long you're spending in it. So let's get started. So the first pose is cat-cow. So we're going to come up into our tabletop. We've got hips over knees and wrists over shoulders. Any issues with those wrists, you could always get a blanket, fold it over, place the pad of your hands just on the blanket so that then your fingertips are coming onto the mat. And if you don't have a blanket, you can always just fold the mat as well. That just helps change the angle there, so it's not so intense. But we're just going to do our cat-cows. So we're in our neutral spine, and then we're going to think about dropping the belly, sticking the tailbone out, lifting the gaze. Then we're going to tuck the tailbone underneath. Think about drawing the belly button up to the spine, round through the back, release the head and the neck. So then we can incorporate that with the breath. So we inhale, drop the belly, stick the tailbone up, lift the gaze. And then exhale as we round through the spine, tuck the tailbone underneath, push through the hands and the tops of the feet. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, release the head and the neck. So you might want to do cat-cow for 30 seconds. Just do it nice and slowly. Don't rush it. Really articulate through the spine. Allow it to arch and then curve just really nicely. Then you can come to lie on your belly. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So Sphinx pose, we want shoulders over wrists, and then we want our forearms on the mat. Tops of the feet are pressing down as well. We're not tucking, we're pressing down. You want to push the forearms into the mat, and then what you want to do is think about drawing the mat back towards your body. So you're clawing back, and as you do this will open the chest and you can lift the gaze. We don't want to be collapsed. We want to be pushing down, pulling. It's almost like you're pulling your heart center forward. You're trying to get your chest through the arms. Okay, and this extension in the spine is really good for sciatica. So this is a wonderful, wonderful pose. And then just stay here for 30, 60 seconds, a minute and a half, however you feel, but just remember to breathe Don't just breathe into the tops of the lungs. Make sure you send the breath all the way down. Release that. Roll over onto your back. And we're going to have both legs bent. And we're going to draw the right knee in. Feet is nice and engaged. Going to try and dorsiflex the feet. You can point the toes if you want. But dorsiflex is quite nice. Dorsiflex means you're pushing the heel out and you're trying to pull the toes back towards the body. Okay, so hug that knee in. You can keep this knee bent if you are creating a nice sensation, or you can start to lower and extend that leg. Remember your blankets and your blocks. If you get to about here, then you can always shove a pillow or a blanket under that knee, just so that that bottom leg can relax a little bit. And stay here, really hugging that knee in. Stay here. Then rebend that bottom leg. Sole of the foot comes to the mat. And then we're going to straighten this leg, okay? Hands come behind the thighs, interlace those fingers. Hold and pull that top leg towards you. Just try to keep the leg straight. Engage that foot, dorsiflex that foot. And then once again, stay here or start to extend that bottom leg. What you want to do is create sensation. So if here you've got a lovely sensation in that right thigh, glute area, then stay here. If you need a little bit more, then extend. Stay here for your 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Remember your breath. If the bottom leg is extended, bend it again. And then we're going to bring that right ankle onto that left knee and come into our reclined pigeon. Lift that left leg up, and then we're going to thread our right hand through the hole. Our left hand comes around, and then depending on where you are, you can hook behind the thigh, you can hook behind on top of the shin. Now you might find in this pose that your head comes up. If that happens, absolutely fine, by the way. Just put a block under your head. Okay? Because you don't want to be trying to keep it up. So just put a block under there, a pillow under there, whatever. Just make it so that you can relax the neck. Okay? And when you're in this figure 4, reclined pigeon, you want to think about inhaling space. And as you exhale, draw that left knee closer. So you're exhaling into that space. Create a sensation once again in that right hip, glute, buttock area. That's really where you're going to be feeling something around that area. Okay? And just remember, create sensation. Okay? Not too much, just enough. Because you want to think about stretching. If you stretch too much too quickly, your body's just going to go, whoa, I need to protect myself. And you'll find it worse. So it's better to just create a little sensation and work up. So you've done your 30 seconds, your minute in this pose. Release. Unhook that top leg. And then do exactly the same thing on the second side. So we're bringing that knee in. Remember, leg can be extended or in. Straighten. Pulling it in. Extend it. Remember, we can have a blanket or a cushion under that leg if it needs to be bent a little bit. Creating a sensation here. Bent. Ankle on knee. Thread through. Figure 4. Okay. Then when we finished, give yourself a bit of a hug. Roll over to a side. Use your hands to push you up. You don't want to create any strain on that lower back when you get up, okay? You don't want to just sit up and pull yourself up. Really roll over and push yourself up. So there you go. So we have our cat-cow, then lying down on our belly into Sphinx. Remember, you're trying to pull your heart center through that gap in between your arms. Then lying on your back, bent knee, hug that knee in, then straighten the leg, and then do your reclined, your figure four, your reclined pigeon. And then remember to repeat that on the second side. Normally, if you've got sciatica, it only affects one leg because you've got a sciatic nerve on each side. But it's always good to just balance it out and do both sides. So do this as many times as you can in the day. Get up while your tea is brewing, do it then. Maybe in the office and when you get home. But just spend a good 30 seconds to a minute in each pose. And remember the breath. Breathe in and then exhale. Relax into it. Okay? We don't want any tension. You want to be engaged, but you don't want any tension. Okay? There's lots of poses out there that are good for sciatica. I've just chosen those ones, but if there's something else that you've seen that you want to do, but you're maybe not 100% sure on how to go about it, then give me a message. Or if you're struggling with something, whatever it is, just send me a message and I will see. Hopefully I can help you. I'll write a little note on the top of the video, just kind of breaking down each pose. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Remember to breathe and have fun. Namaste.
See you, yogis.